with a conscience. Can't roll with the nonsense. Don't mistake the cover of the book for its contents. I might show you kindness, swim with the piranhas. Things that we forget tend to come back and remind us. Like we all have a past we want to put behind us. Designed to be good, but evil always seems to find us. A man can only change the things he acknowledges. Plus this beat is flame, but skills over politics won't be the same. What really has me stressing out, the gyms are closed, so I can't get this aggression out. Before we get the promises, there must be offenses. The Bill Gates of hell won't prevail against us. They don't really want, but we speak it to them. They don't really want, but we teach it to them. They don't really want, but we give it to them. We got the whole package, baby. They don't really want, but we speak it to them. They don't really want, but we teach it to them. They don't really want, but we give it to them. We got the whole package, baby. Say my prayers. Thank God for blessing me. My life's an open book. Could that be why they're testing me? Maybe everything I do is done out of necessity. Stock is on the rise. I think you should invest in me. It's not strange. I'm money like blockchain. Except the things in life that I cannot change. Chant down Babylon. Payback is coming. I ain't LeBron James. You thought I came back for nothing? The game is canceled in the blink of an eyelash. Flow is sick. Grab your N95 mask. The new normal, it gets even scarier. All black and white, there is no gray area. Plain as day, we got the whole package, baby. Competition, their rhymes are all average. And that's my 16, nothing else to say, y'all. 5G raps, find me under the radar. They don't really want, but we speak it to them. They don't really want, but we teach it to them. They don't really want, but we give it to them. We got the whole package, baby. They don't really want, but we speak it to them. They don't really want, but we teach it to them. They don't really want, but we give it to them. We got the whole package, baby. Bounce. The gyms are closed. I gotta get this aggression out. Let's go. I'm from the city, they say never sleep. People you can never please. Words of blue checks that Twitter gives celebrities. Sometimes it's commercial, sometimes herbal remedies. Guaranteed to be 100 like centipedes. I claim my innocence, although innocence. I ain't perfect, I'm trying to cleanse my innocence. Not alone, I'm assisted by some instruments. And when I'm done, I'm on to doing bigger things. No holes barred, take no prisoners. Aim for the sky, potential is limitless. Before we get the promises, there must be offenses. The Bill Gates of hell won't prevail against us. They don't. Well. How's everybody doing? Is everybody all right? Hey, family, just give me 1 second. 1 second. Yeah. Okay, just get this everything straight here. Okay, cool. Hey, how's everybody doing? Hopefully everybody's well. Welcome to another impromptu edition of Maccabeestv. Of course, it is your brother, Priest Danyaahla, representing Maccabeestv, representing Lions of Israel. Just came to check in with my family. I gave y'all a couple of days because I was afraid some of y'all might really still think that New Year's is in January 1st. So some of y'all may have been partying, watching the ball drop, going crazy. Some of y'all, I hope not, but some of y'all, because I'm going to tell you, them Facebook streets was empty. It was quiet. You can, if you speak, you hear your own echo. So I was wondering where my Israelite family was, man. But anyway, I say peace and blessings and welcome to another edition of Maccabeestv. It's your brother Priest Dan, as always. You brothers and sisters know the etiquette. You guys know the deal. If you're in my house, acknowledge that you're in the house by hitting the like button or the dislike button. Doesn't really matter. Hit something. Interact with the video so we can trigger the algorithm and more people can know that we were live. I ain't gonna be live long. It's just real impromptu. So people can know we're live and they can come check the video out. Even if they miss it, they can catch the replay. Shout out to everybody that's watching on Facebook as well. Y'all can also like the video over there as well. And like I always tell you, if you want to interact with the video, if you want to comment, etc., you got to come over to YouTube. With that being said, let me go ahead and, of course, give a couple of shout outs to my people that are in the building, the people that faithfully support the channel. Linda Ricks,
of course, Royal Prince, Valed 5464, Plumantis, Shalom, Shalom, Truth Talk TV, Latoya Denise, Shalom to you. Of course, Brother Deontay, Shalom to you. All praises. I saw you in the academy yesterday. All praises to the Most High for that. You know we got it in. Officer Zachariah, Shalom to you as well. Shalom to the entire family. Peace and blessings. I hope this video finds everybody in good spirits and good health. So let's talk real quick, and then we'll go through a couple of things, and I'll get out of here. I'm not going to be before you guys very long, unless you guys keep me long. I know sometimes you guys keep me long. I intend on being on 20, 30 minutes max. And I get to talking to y'all. Y'all get me to start teaching. And I'm on here longer than I anticipate being on here. So let's talk about a couple of things. So last week, I was supposed to do a follow-up to the cryptocurrency roundtable. So I'm going to take that on the Chin family. That was my fault why that did not happen. The day that we were supposed to do the cryptocurrency roundtable, which was last Tuesday, part 2, the brothers that were supposed to participate, they hit me up in my inbox. Shout out to Brother Dove at Judah. Shout out to Brother Seneca Yasha Allah, Elder Zahab, etc., etc. Brothers hit me up. They was ready to come on. And your brother, Priest Danyaahla, was just, I'm not going to lie, I was tired. Man, I thought about it, and I was like, not today. I was tired. So that's why that didn't go down, because some of you guys have been hitting me up asking me what happened to the cryptocurrency roundtable. I think that everybody's starting to see that there is definitely a push to bring in digital currency. If you guys are paying attention to the news, which I hope you as Israelites are, you guys see that Venezuela is going completely digital. Did y'all brothers see that? The country Venezuela is going completely digital. Their currency is laying on the streets of Venezuela, and people are making pocketbooks with the money. People are making toys. It's like the money is like laying on the street like trash. Let me see something real quick. Yeah, let's see if we can pull something up on that since I let's see. Yeah, let's do this right here. I'm going to play this video real quick. Let me go and share my screen since I made that thing. So Venezuela's going completely digital. China's gone completely digital. Russia's about to go digital, and America's next. So I think the family is starting to pick up on the wave. And a lot of us, now I didn't say y'all, I said us, are still limited in our knowledge of cryptocurrency. But there's a lot of Israelites that know about it. So I did a roundtable like 3 weeks ago now, almost. YouTube removed it. I was supposed to do one last week. I didn't. I was too tired. I'm actually going to inbox the brothers that participated, wanted to participate, to see if I can get that cracking this week. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. I don't know. It's going to be up to them. It is short notice, but I want to get that to y'all real quick. Let's go ahead and share the screen. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. Right. This is a good brother right here. So I don't think he'll mind me playing the video from his channel. I have communicated with him before. So real quick, let's just go over here. This is impromptu. I didn't expect to so the name of this brother's channel is Rethinking the Dollar. This brother brings out a lot of great information. So let me go ahead and play this video for you guys real quick, just so you guys can get a sense of what's going on in our backyard. Listen.
Disappear. It's the latest.
The
world is changing, and all governments are responding with more of the same destructive policies. It looks like Venezuela's government is planning to move to a fully digital economy as hyperinflation has made worthless Bolivar notes practically disappear. The people of Venezuela, in an effort to protect themselves, have adopted a dollarization policy that has expanded throughout the local financial system. The U.S. dollar has operated as an escape valve for Venezuela amid U.S. sanctions and collapsing oil revenues, President Nicolas Maduro said in a televised interview with Telesur on Friday. He said 18.6% of all commercial transactions are in dollars, while 77.3%.
Look at that, family. That's what they're doing. I want you guys to see. I want you guys to take a look at that. If you want to know how worthless Venezuelan money is, y'all see it at the bottom right there? That's the currency in Venezuela currently that's worthless. And this, see these pocketbooks? They're making pocketbooks out of the money. Could you imagine the American dollar being so worthless that people stand on the street selling pocketbooks made out of American dollars? Right? These are what they call so-called Chinese stars, whatever, made out of Venezuelan dollars. They're doing this because this stuff is laying on the street the same way when you walk through New York City and you see trash everywhere on the damn street. is the same way that you see their currency on the floor in the streets of Venezuela. The currency is practically worthless. So they're moving over to a digital dollar. We see that happening around the country, around the world. And America is also about to do the same. So I know a lot of brothers and sisters, as I mentioned, including myself, are not the most educated on the subject of cryptocurrency, which is why I did the first roundtable, just to educate y'all. And I learned stuff too that time. And I'm sorry YouTube took it down. So I'm going to bring some brothers back on. We definitely got to talk about this Bitcoin thing. Y'all see Bitcoin is over $30,000 for one coin. $30,000. You know what I'm saying? Ethereum is up there too. All right. So those of our people that had invested in Bitcoin, you know, all them years ago when everybody was laughing at them, they're all multimillionaires right now. It's not about being a millionaire in the society. I'm just trying to show you that there's definitely a move and a trend towards cryptocurrency. We as Israelites, we're here in this captivity. We don't know how long we're going to be here. Things are accelerating, but we don't know how long we're going to be here. While we're here, we need to be educated about what's going on in the society we live here, right? And to be quite frank, one of the most important things I will say, and I'm not really here to talk about this whole cryptocurrency thing today, but I'm going to say this, because this is wisdom. Nobody should have all your assets in one place. All your assets should not just be saved up in a bank somewhere, because the bank could go belly up tomorrow. All your assets should not just be in your 401k. You should diversify your assets, brothers and sisters. Brothers should be investing in cryptocurrency. Brothers should be investing in gold. Brothers and sisters should be investing in silver. Brothers and other precious metals like platinum, et cetera, et cetera. You can invest in these things. And silver you can invest in relatively cheap. So you diversify your investments. Don't just put all your eggs in one basket, because that's a sure sign or a recipe for disaster. But I'm not a financial expert. I'm not none of that stuff. So, you know, I'm not the guy. I'm going to bring people on here that's more knowledgeable than me, but I think that is kind of common sense, I would think. Right? Guys, let's get these thumbs up, please. Let's get these thumbs up, right? We're not doing too well right now. Jeremiah, shalom to you. Valed, shalom to you. Malek Zaquan, shalom to you. Kevin Collins. Yeah, that was funny. That was funny. That was funny, Kevin Collins. You asked about Black Jesus minister suing Sarnetta for his son. Let me tell you something, man. See, everybody thought I was crazy when I turned the camera on. Y'all know Priest Danyaahla. I stay out of all the drama on social media for the most part. I try to stay out of it. I don't involve myself in that. So y'all got to know when I turn my camera on and it's time for me to speak, something serious has to be going on. And I don't know if you guys remembered when I made that video when I told, you know what I'm saying, the brother from DC, I ain't going to call his name. I told the brother from DC that them dudes that he's rolling with, they are mentally disturbed. And Black Jesus is one of them. Them guys are mentally challenged. And I told him that. So that's why I looked out and said I would never sit down and have a conversation with somebody who is a couple of fries short of a Happy Meal. I'm sorry. And it is scriptural for me to say that. The Apostle Paul called the Cretans slow belly. Slow bellies. That's what he called them. That's an insult. Hard of hearing, hard of understanding. And that's that dude right there. So that dude is crazy. How you going to sue somebody for an award? And first of all, you never even won none of those debates that was on your channel. That was retarded. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let me just share a couple of tabs with you guys real quick since I'm here. I wanted to talk to you guys about that cryptocurrency roundtable. It is coming. Also, to my Israelite sisters, I got to talk to y'all too. You Israelite sisters, y'all disappoint me. You have disappointed me, and I'm going to tell you why. All right? We had a roundtable on this channel last Sunday with the brothers on, talking about some of the things that brothers are looking for in a Israelite wife. We had a panel of brothers on here, and a lot of you sisters had a lot to say. And so we opened the platform up for you sisters to come on yesterday. And 5 of you guys gave a verbal agreement that you were going to come on to express what it is that you needed to express. And you guys got cold feet and ran. You know what I'm saying? So this is how I look at it. With all due respect, hey, since you ran, you don't have an opinion. Like, you can't criticize brothers and say nothing about the caliber of brothers in Israel, nothing. You don't have an opinion because when you were given a platform to speak, you ran. So I saw some comments from some sisters on my Facebook today asking me what happened to the roundtable and is it still going to happen? Probably not, unless some more sisters want to come forward to do it. Probably not, but we're gonna do something else. We're gonna go in another direction when it comes to that conversation, because that conversation needs to be had, man. They're having that conversation in the world. Why do you think the whole thing with Kevin Samuels is blowing up the way it's blowing up? Because they're having that conversation in the world between men and women, what we expect from each other, what we should expect from each other. We need to have that conversation in Israel, especially concerning the scriptures, because the criteria of things that we look for in this truth is different than what people are looking for in the world. It's the complete opposite, right? It's the complete opposite. But I'm not here for that show today either. So with that being said, let me go ahead and share my screen real quick, and let's just go through a couple of these tabs. I wanted to show you guys some interesting stuff that I came across today. Shout out to Kanai Shar for sending me some of the stuff too. Appreciate you, bro, as always. Let's look at this right here. I thought this was interesting. So this is let me see if I can get the guy's name. Let me see if I can get this brother's name. Let's see here. Give me 1 second, family. Okay, this is Representative Emanuel Cleaver, Democrat from the 5th District of Missouri. And what you're looking at, brothers and sisters, is he is given the invocation prayer at the opening day of the 117th Congress. He's given the invocation prayer. So now I don't want to hear none of this mumbo jumbo or gibberish. So we're going to pick it up at the end of the prayer. Listen to what this dude says. Listen.
And be gracious unto us. May the Lord lift up the light of his countenance upon us and give us peace. Peace in our families, peace across this land. And dare I ask, O Lord, peace even in this chamber, now and evermore. We ask it in the name of the monotheistic God, Brahma, and God known by many names, by many different faiths. Amen and a woman.
Did y'all hear that? Y'all, some of y'all missed it. Some of y'all were sleeping. He asked it in the name of the God Brahma. So he prayed in the name of the God Brahma, and at the end of the prayer, he said, a man and a woman. What the hell is that? Listen again.
Now may the God who created the world and everything in it bless us and keep us. May the Lord make his face to shine upon us and be gracious unto us. May the Lord lift up the light of his countenance upon us and give us peace. Peace in our families, peace across this land. And dare I ask, O Lord, peace even in this chamber, now and evermore. We ask it in the name of the monotheistic God, Brahma, and God known by many names, by many different faiths. Amen and a woman.
It would take a hard-headed, knuckle-headed Negro to say something so goddamn stupid. Amen and a woman. First of all, the word amen or aman, as we say in the Hebrew, is genderless. It is not referring to a male or female. It just means to so let it be. That's all it means. But because it sounds like we're saying man in English, he has to make it politically correct and say a man and a woman. And he mentioned the god Brahma. Brahma is this abomination right here, in case you brothers and sisters don't know who Brahma is. This abomination right here. And it would take a simple... Niggas is into everything except the damn truth, man. It's a shame. It's a goddamn shame. I just thought that was interesting. I thought I would show you guys that. Let's move on. Let's just run through these tabs. Here's another abomination, brothers and sisters. Another abomination. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Hold on. Let's go to full screen, shall we? Yeah. Look at this abomination right here. Y'all know who that abomination is, right? That's Mace. Now, we know Mace was all the way up. Listen, I'm not going to pull any punches. I don't care how anybody feels about it. I'm just going to say what needs to be said. We know Mace was all up in the music industry, right? He hit the top with, you know, the Bad Boy Crew and everything. And we know the great Pimp C, may he rest in peace, the great Pimp C, gave the greatest radio interview ever on radio. If you brothers and sisters have not heard that interview that Pimp C gave, that man Pimp C from the rap group UGK, shout out to my Southern family. Pimp C gave the greatest interview ever known to man from the inside, as an insider, as somebody that also was at the top of the industry. Remember, UGK did that song Big Pimpin' with Jay-Z. That's a multi-platinum record. Sold millions and millions of records. And this dude went on the radio in Atlanta and exposed everybody in the rap industry as an insider, from Russell Simmons to Puffy to Jeezy to everybody. All these dudes is 2013. And you brothers know what scripture 2013 is. Y'all know. We gotta make up our own slang on these Israelite streets. We call, with the lives of Israel, we call people like these 2013s. So we know Mace was amongst the 2013s, and most likely was I'm gonna say most likely, because I can't prove it, was participating in that stuff too. And here he is in this image doing a Masonic symbol. This is a Masonic symbol. Let's keep it above. That's what that is. That's a Masonic symbol, right? So this dude came out, had his record out, sold millions and millions of records, and then left the industry and became a pastor, learning up under Creflo Dollar. Of all the wolves in sheep clothing that you can learn from, you learn from Creflo Dollar, right? Then you fall out. You come back to the rap industry trying to be a gangster all over again and make a diss record against Cameron and Dipset, talking all that street stuff. And then that didn't work. And now you ran back down to Atlanta, and now you're a pastor again. So this dude is being sworn in as the pastor of a church in Atlanta on January the 9th of this year, going right back to the church. And our people are so daggone stupid and so daggone starstruck that you will allow somebody that's being tossed to and fro. 1 minute you're a rapper, next minute you're a pastor, next minute you're back to being a rapper, now you're being a pastor. And there's nothing wrong with making music. As y'all can see, I do it. But my music consists of what I teach. I don't deviate. I don't deviate. This dude is all over the goddamn place. And now he's being brought back in because I guess there's no more money for him in hip hop. So now he's back to being a pastor to rob the people, right? So let's look at a little bit of this video. Hopefully they don't strike the video down, whatever. Let's look at this little bit of the video right here where this dude is passing his church off to this dude. Check it out.
We're happy to say that after almost 8 years, we have accomplished so much. We've started a movie theater, then we moved over to,
we jumped around for a little while. We were a church on tour, and then we found a church in Lithonia, and from there we became another church on tour, and we ended up in a school, and then a pandemic hit. Nonetheless, over the years, I have been so honored, very thankful for all the people who have joined in to serve, to stand into the gap, to fill those gaps, and to be who they needed to be because God sent them to be who they needed to be. And from the bottom of our hearts, we just say thank you. It's been an amazing journey, an amazing ride. Now, all of you know that about a month ago, I submitted my resignation as the pastor of the Baruch Church. And today, right now, I'm excited to be able to present to you your new pastor. Before I do that, I just want to say that my wife and I have an opportunity to be able to hand our church over to pastor, and allowing him to have a clean slate, allowing him to be able to move in the direction by which God calls for him to go. That whatever was old is not his. It's passed away. What was is gone. It's now new. And whatever the vision that he has now is in his hands. And now he begins with a clean slate, with a new vision, nothing from the past, nothing of old. Every plan I had, everything that I had, all those things have been buried, and now he begins fully fresh in everything. So now I have the honor and the pleasure of being able to present to you the new pastor of the Baruch Church, Mason Dunn.
Yeah, it's gonna be an amazing adventure for you. I'm fully excited about it. Like,
family, I'm sorry.
Y'all
Y'all gotta forgive me. I gotta stop it for a second, family. I am so sorry. I don't know no straight men that do that. I'm sorry. Look at that again. Maybe I'm seeing stuff I shouldn't be seeing. But yeah.
So now, I have the honor and the pleasure of being able to present to you
the new pastor of the Baruch Church, Mason Dunn.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an amazing adventure.
Yeah.
I'm fully excited about it. Like, this is about to be amazing. I'm excited to watch it.
No. I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. Maybe it's just me. Nope. There's definitely some sugar going on there. I don't know what it is, but there's some sugar going on right there. And it's man, listen. Anyway. Anyway, Salaki family, let me come back over here. Yeah. See, they ain't listen. They won't listen to us, but they'll listen. Hey, yeah, man. Anyway, let's move on, family. Let's move on. There you go. We're not going to get stuck on any one thing. Let's move on to the next thing. Oh, my goodness. Hey, family, hit that like button, please. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Let's move on to the next thing. So, let's move on to more serious matters really quickly. More serious matters. So you guys have been seeing on the news that the UK has gone into a second lockdown, which is going to be at minimum until February 15th. So they're going to go into lockdown for at least a month and a half, a full lockdown, similar to when the first cases of that pandemic came out. And the reason why they're going back into a second lockdown is because now there is a variant strain of this pandemic that has been hitting them, supposedly, and killing a lot of people. The numbers are up. And if you guys have been paying attention, those variant strains of this pandemic are starting to show up over here. For instance, New York. This is from New York today. The first case of the new strain confirmed in New York, the same strain that they're locking London down with now. It's starting to appear over here. I believe there was a case in Colorado and a couple of other cases that popped up, and now it's in New York. So what we need to do, family, I don't have to read these articles. You guys can go and look these things up for yourself. What we need to do, brothers and sisters, is we need to be vigilant concerning this thing, because if it is causing so much chaos overseas, a lot of times what happens overseas eventually comes over here. There were full lockdowns in European countries and Australia before the full lockdown came here. They locked down over there first. So I'm not saying that there's going to be another full lockdown, because you have some states that have no lockdown right now and some states that do. But we definitely have to keep our eye on what's happening with the situation, because it can come here. And I don't think that it's negligent for me to tell people, as I've been telling people, that you want to keep your eye on these things, so that if you don't want to necessarily go on the streets and travel, you don't have to. You can keep some extra things in your house. It's just prudence. It's not fair. I'm not telling anybody to go out there and hoard. Like, don't go out there and buy the whole store, or buy, unnecessary, ungodly amount of food and put yourself in debt or anything like that. But just have what you need, because you will see shortages of things like we saw the first time in certain areas. It really depends on where you live. I know for a fact that where I live, when this thing was hitting and the lockdowns were in effect, there was no water in the store. That wasn't me panicking or nothing. There was no water in the store. And when the truck would come in, a couple of times I went to the store, Walmart, as the truck was arriving, and I would ask the attendants, is there water on that truck? And they would tell me no. And that was a light lockdown. That was a light thing. So it is prudence to tell our people to prepare themselves to a degree with the most essential things, especially if you have young people or elderly amongst you that will need these things, and also medications. Nothing wrong with having a little extra medication. Nothing wrong with having certain provisions in your house. And again, let me come here real quick, because, if you don't know what to do, we already did the work for you, right? So I'm going to continue to show you guys this, because it's important, right? If you don't know where to start of things that you should have in your home, just as provisions and precaution, come to the website Grassroot Botanicals, grassrootbotanicals with an S.com, and you scroll down to the middle of the page, and you will see a PDF right here that says emergency list. You click on it. It's 4 pages long, and it gives you an idea of some good things to have in your house, just because even if there's not a pandemic, it's good to have these things in your house. If there's a hurricane, if there is a blackout for an extended amount of time, even things like that, it is good to have these things in your house, just because, but especially because we are also know that we're living in times where a lot of things are going to kick off. So it's very, very important to have these things in your house. If you can't afford to get all these things in your house, then that's where, as I always mention, co-opting comes in. Working together comes in. You team up with another family, some friends, whatever like that. You print this PDF and you get the first 2 pages. The other family gets the second 2 pages, or you split it up amongst 3 families, or whatever you got to do. Or if you're a part of a congregational body, then you get these things and you keep these on the ready in case somebody in the congregation needs it. Right? We see our forefathers in the scriptures doing things like this. There's nothing wrong with that. All right? That's part of being a leader, is to have vision and know what the people need, because sometimes our people don't know what they need until they need it. And by the time that they need it, it's too late. That's the reason why we're having this whole situation that I talked about last week with a lot of our Israelite family that's passing away, and we're doing all these GoFundMes to bury them because leaders aren't talking to their congregation about life insurance, health insurance, burial insurance. You're not talking to people. You're not having real conversations with people. And so we wind up as a community paying the price for these things. So, whenever I get a chance, whether y'all want to hear it or not, I take the opportunity, whether you guys are in my camp or not, doesn't matter. Y'all my family, y'all watch the channel, some of y'all support. So I'm going to share the same information I share with my immediate camp. I come on here, I share with you guys too. All right, let me check something out real quick. How we doing over here, man? You guys still could be doing a little better on the likes. You could. Hey, by the way, Lambert, I see you over there in the UK, man. My prayers up for you, brother. Hopefully the Most High continues to bless you. All right. And what's ever going on, you and your family. All right. I want to talk about one other thing. As long as we're talking about this whole let me start sharing my screen again. Give me a second. Because I want to talk to you guys about something real quick. I'm not going to go all the way through it, but I am going to talk about it just for a second. Right. So let's come back here to the situation with the lockdown that's going on in the UK, and that there's a possibility it can come here. What I want to tell you, brothers and sisters, is this, and I only can warn you, and you can take heed or not. That's on you. This thing and the things that we're going to see that's going to be taking place in the future is highly orchestrated. And here's what I mean by that. The powers that should not be, that's what I call them, because Israel, we are the power that should be, but because we broke God's laws, we're not. And the people that should not be are in power. So I call them the powers that should not be. The powers that should not be expect for there to be a certain remnant of the people. When I say people, I'm going beyond even us as Israelites. Even you have a lot of white people and other people that know that something is not right with what's going on. They know something isn't right, and they're investigating, and they're doing their digging, and they're finding a lot of inconsistencies and problems with the narrative that's being spewed on the news. The powers that be, that should not be, know that. So one of the things that they have set out to do, and I've mentioned it on this channel before, and I'm going to mention it again in brief, is that they have recruited your pastors to keep you in line. That is what they have done. They are called clergy response teams. And these clergy of all faiths, including the Kemetic people and all that, these clergy have been trained by FEMA to use certain tactics to convince their followers to go along with everything the government says, even if it is unlawful. I'm talking about unlawful against the Bible. This is what I want to tell you, brothers and sisters. Let me stop sharing my screen so y'all can see my face. Okay, let me stop sharing my screen for a second. This is what I want to tell you, brothers and sisters. Where it is possible, listen carefully, where it is possible for you to do what you need to do in a society lawfully, you should do it. In other words, I'll give you an example. I can't stand wearing these masks. I can't stand it. However, it makes life easier, even though I know it's stupid, even though I know I'm breathing in my own CO2, so forth and so on. I already know that. rather than me go every time I need to go into the store or the pharmacy or the bank or this or that, rather than get into an argument everywhere I go, I throw the damn mask on to shut the damn people up so I can go and take care of my business and leave. That is not interfering with God's laws. So where it is possible for you to follow whatever guidelines are in place that do not go against God's laws, you should do it. 100%. However, Romans, the 13th chapter, is not telling you to follow everything the government says. That's not what it's talking about. And we went over this in the academy yesterday. The brothers that's in the academy know. We went over this yesterday. Romans 13 is one of the most misused scriptures in the Bible. It is not telling you to follow the government in everything that they say. Where it's possible, do it. But if you know the government is telling you to do something unlawful, you're not supposed to follow that thing. Not at all. I want y'all to understand that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys an example real quick out of the PowerPoint that I gave in the academy yesterday. I'm not going through the whole thing. I'm going to show y'all a couple of slides. I'm going to show you exactly what I meant because people have been asking me about this. Is Romans 13 saying that we're supposed to obey the government? Is that what it's saying? No, it's not. Should you obey the government where it's lawful? Yes. Where it's possible? Yes. But should you obey them to the point of breaking God's laws? No. And Romans 13 is not even talking about that at all. I'm going to show you that right now, real quick. Just a couple of slides. I'm not going through the whole thing. Let me share my screen real quick. Share my screen real quick. We went over this in the academy yesterday. Let's go. Okay. Okay. So I call this PowerPoint the Complete Idiot's Guide to Romans, the 13th chapter. Why? Because the average Christian pastor is an idiot. Sorry, got to keep it a buck. And a lot of our people, because they follow an idiot, they themselves become idiots as well. The Bible says that the blind lead the blind, they shall both fall into a ditch. That's what the Bible says. So, this is what I want to show you, brothers and sisters. Check this out, right? Let's start here. I'm going to bring up a slide presentation, make it a little bigger so you guys can see it. I want you guys to pay attention to this, right? This video is old and grainy because it's from the 90s. For those of you guys that don't remember, some of you guys may be too young to remember, so I'm going to jog your memory. You had the situation in New Orleans during Hurricane Katrina where the levees broke. And they had to evacuate the people out of the city of New Orleans. And they put them, you know what I'm saying, in the stadium down there and eventually the Superdome. And eventually a lot of them were shipped over to Texas, right? Now, during this time, the United States government recruited pastors. Now, before I get into that, in Louisiana, I believe you have Second Amendment rights to own arms. You have a Second Amendment right to have firearms, right? So they knew a lot of the black people had firearms legally. And what these dudes did was they went and they recruited pastors and told these pastors to go around and use Romans, the 13th chapter, to convince the people who lawfully and legally had firearms to turn them in. And they were using Romans 13, saying that if the government says you got to do it, and that's it. You can't say nothing. Check it out.
Law ever become a reality in America? Some fear any nuclear, biological, or chemical attack on U.S. territory might trigger just that. And as Case News 12 Jeff Farrell discovered, the clergy would help the government with potentially their biggest problem, us.
Charlton Heston's famous declaration captures a truly American value, the overarching desire to protect our freedoms. But gun confiscation is exactly what happened during the state of emergency following Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans. U.S. troops also arrived, something far easier to do even now thanks to last year's elimination of the 1878 Posse Comitatus Act. That forbid U.S. troops from policing on American soil. If martial law were enacted here at home, like depicted in the movie The Siege, easing public fears and quelling dissent would be critical. And that's exactly what the clergy response team, as it's called, helped accomplish in New Orleans.
So they're called the clergy response team. I'm showing you guys an old video And then I'm going to show you a more modern video with it. Now they're using the clergy response team for this pandemic.
Law ever become
freedoms. But God happened during the state of emergency. U.S. troops also arrived, something far easier to do even now thanks to last year's elimination of the 1878 Posse Comitatus Act. That forbid U.S. troops from policing on American soil. If martial law were enacted here at home, like depicted in the movie The Siege, easing public fears and quelling dissent would be critical. And that's exactly what the clergy response team, as it's called, helped accomplish in New Orleans.
Jeff, the only thing that we say to anybody is let's drop and get this thing over with, and then we'll settle the differences once the crisis is over.
Such clergy response teams would walk a tightrope between the needs of the government versus the wishes of the public.
So they would have to choose between the needs of the government and the wishes of the people. Listen.
In a lot of cases, these clergy would already be known in the neighborhoods in which they're helping to diffuse that situation.
Now, that's very important, family. You got to jog your memory. He said in most cases, the clergy would be known in the community where they're going to be sent out to try to calm the people. If you guys remember, when I showed you how they were going to roll out the jab that they're giving everybody right now, that poison that they're sticking in everybody right now, they told you in that memo that I showed you from Johns Hopkins University that when they roll it out, they were going to be using familiar faces in the community. So the year on the calendar has changed, but the tactics have not.
For the clergy, one of the biggest tools that they will have in helping calm the public down or obey the law is the Bible itself, specifically Romans 13.
Because the government's established by the Lord, you know, and that's what we believe in the Christian faith. That's what's stated in the Scripture.
Civil rights advocates believe the amount of public cooperation may depend largely on how long they expect the suspension of their rights might last.
All right, let's move to the next one real quick. Check this out. Now, this is a more modern video. Check it out.
Something happened back in 2006 that should not be forgotten. Something that is unfortunately still happening today.
Yes.
What am I talking about? I'm talking about the Department of Homeland Security and FEMA teaming up with your churches and congregations. And they're doing it under the banner of the Clergy Response Team.
So you had a clergy response team in 2006, and you still have one in 2021. Same thing is happening. But this time they've expanded it to include what's going on right now.
Is the Clergy Response Team? Well, according to FEMA documents that I'm about to show you, these particular reports entice pastors to not only quell their population in the event of some kind of catastrophe or emergency event, but they also train your pastors how to, tell on their congregants.
So they train the pastors to tell on you. Your pastors are being trained by the Department of Homeland Security to tell on you.
Someone is, quote, out of line. How to make their congregations submit to the government under the principles of Romans chapter 13 in the Bible. It also tells pastors that in the event of some kind of martial law scenario, that they are to tell their congregants to, quote, turn in their guns or have gun confiscation. These are the things being taught to our pastors and our clergy people all across the country.
Now, let's stop for a second, right? Now, you heard her say something about martial law. Watch this. And I'm doing this on the fly. This is from CNN. You guys see the date on the article? It says December 20th, 2020. That's only a couple of days ago. As of a couple of days ago, Donald Trump and his advisors were having a conversation about imposing martial law because they don't like the election results. So that conversation is on the table. And so if he were to do something like that, right, they're going to unleash these clergy response teams throughout the neighborhoods and everything to try to quell and calm the people. All this stuff is prepared years and years and years in advance, brothers and sisters. But now let's come back to this real quick. I want to show you, brothers and sisters, something. 1 second. I want to show you guys something. Let's come down here. Like I said, I'm not going to give you guys the whole presentation. I went over this yesterday in the academy. I want to show you, brothers and sisters, something real quick. Let's start here, right? Nope. Let's start here. This is Romans chapter 13, verse 1. It says, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. If you don't understand who the higher powers are the governing bodies of the world, right? America is a higher power. It's the highest power in the world right now. If you don't know that, I'm going to give you guys another slide right here. Let me blow it up just a little bit so you guys can see it, right, from current slide. So I went to Bible Hub, right, and I went to all the different translations so we could get a better understanding of who the higher powers are. The higher powers are the governing authorities. That's what it's talking about, just so we all can have a better understanding of what it's saying. Now, let's go back one slide. So this is the book of Romans. So this is the Apostle Paul writing to the Israelites that were in Rome. And who was ruling at the time? The Romans were ruling. And we, the Israelites, were subject to the Roman rulership. That's what was going on. And what you had is, let me show you. Let me show you what you had going on. Let's come down here, right? Let's blow this up. Let's blow this up. This is Acts chapter 5, verse 34. Check this out. Then stood there up one in the council, a Pharisee named Gamaliel, a doctor of the law, had in reputation amongst all the people, and commanded to put the apostles forth a little space. Verse 35. And he said unto them, ye men of Israel, take heed to yourself what ye intend to do as touching these men. For before these days rose up Theudas, boasting himself to be somebody, to whom a number of men, about 400, joined themselves, who were slain, and all as many as obeyed him were scattered and brought to naught. Verse 37. And after this man rose up Judas of Galilee in the days of the taxing. Judas of Galilee in the days of the taxing. So what was going on during the time of Judas of Galilee? The Romans imposed a tax. And this guy stood up and said, I'm not paying it. Remember, the Most High set the Romans up. He said, I'm not paying it. And he drew away much people after him that agreed, yeah, we're not paying Rome. And he also perished. And all, even as many as obeyed him, were dispersed. So this is an example of Israelites under the Roman Empire causing insurrections against the Romans when the Most High put us under the Romans for breaking his laws. Check this out. This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4. Starting from verse 1. O Lord Almighty, thou God of Israel, hear now the prayers of the dead Israelites and of their children, which have sinned before thee and not hearkened unto the voice of thee, their God. For the which cause these plagues cleave unto us. What's some of these plagues? Remember not the iniquities of our forefathers, but think upon thy power and thy name now at this time. For thou art the Lord our God, and thee, O Lord, will we praise. And for this cause thou hast put thy fear in our hearts, to the intent that we should call upon thy name and praise thee in our captivity. For we have called to mind all the iniquity of our fathers that sinned before thee. Now listen, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God. So one of the ways that we became subject to these other nations, we became subject to payments to them. We became subject to having to pay these guys tribute, and we became subject to having to pay these guys taxes. And what you had was, you had a lot of Israelites, one of them being Judas of Galilee. This guy right here, he was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And so he rose up and fought against the Romans and was killed, him and all his men. So what you have going on in the book of Romans, the 13th chapter, really What you have going on is you have the Apostle Paul telling the Israelites in Rome not to participate in all these insurrections that the rest of the Israelites were doing. You had the Zealots, you had the Sicarii, and many others that were rising up trying to overthrow the Roman Empire when the Most High put us under them for our sin. That's what this chapter is really going into. Nothing to do with this whole FEMA pastor thing. Nothing at all to do with that. And I need for you brothers and sisters to understand that. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I did this. I went through this whole PowerPoint yesterday in the academy yesterday. I just wanted to make sure that you guys are clear on that. Maybe one day I'll go through the whole PowerPoint on here. Maybe I will. I don't know. But I just want to make sure you guys are clear on that. If that was clear to you guys, I need for y'all to put 1 in the chat and let me know. I know I didn't go through the whole thing, but I didn't need to go through the whole thing. This is not rocket science. Paul is writing to the church at Rome, advising them about things that were going on in Rome. Every one of those epistles that you're reading is talking about things that were going on primarily in that city where the church was. So when you're reading about Paul writing to the Romans, he's referring to things that were going on in Rome amongst the Romans. And one of the things that was going on, you always had Israelites doing insurrections all the time. Don't let nobody fool you telling you that that chapter is talking about you got to obey the government, whatever they say. No, that's not what it's talking about. However, using wisdom, if it's something that's not against God's laws and it can make it easier for you to navigate in a society, you should. Like I told you, I wear the mask. I hate the mask. As soon as I walk out the store, I pull the mask off. I hate them. Right? But I'm not going to stop and argue. Everywhere I go, I'm going to have an argument. Every store I go to, bank, this, that, and the third, I have to have an argument with somebody just to walk in. No, I don't have to do that. I can comply to make my life easier so I can go about my business. I'm just looking at y'all comments. Just bear with me, making sure that we good. Right, Lighthouse Israelite said, wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom. But what all they're getting, get what? Get understanding. Get understanding. Because that is the go-to, like I said, that is the go-to thing. I'm going to play a little bit more of that video. I ain't going to go through this PowerPoint. I'm going to play a little bit more of that video. That is the go-to thing that they're going to be doing. They're going to be using Romans 13 against the people. And them Christians is going to fall for it because they don't understand the Bible. That's not talking about that. So let's play a little bit more of this video real quick before I get out of here. Yeah, man. So let me
feed your family or your loved ones in the event of some kind of emergency. If not, then maybe today is the day. $75.
She's trying to sell something.
Now is also the time to take advantage of that 45% and 6. However, I want to re-bring up the situation because it literally is something we should not forget. But let me take you straight to the source so you can see what I'm talking about. Now, the source that you're looking at on the screen is the actual Pastor Crisis Intervention document.
So this is a Pastor Crisis Intervention document dated the 23rd of 2006. I can't really see what month that is. And this is the document that outlines what the pastors are supposed to do and how they're supposed to use Romans 13 and twist it to try to get the people to bend to the will of the government, even in some things that are unlawful. You see what I'm saying? One of the reasons why people are so against taking this thing is because there's still a lot of questions about it. And number two, on another note, now that they have a new strain, is this thing going to work for the new strain? I'm just curious. But anyway, enough of me talking.
It's a document used by DHS and FEMA and churches. In this particular case, it was used by Seventh-day Adventist Church. This report trains pastors how to basically quell or calm their congregations in the event of some kind of catastrophe, and to basically submit unto your governing authorities under any and all circumstances, using Romans 13 as the springboard. But you can see here, this was published May 15th, 2006. 2006. Now, the first 8 pages of the report tells you about why Christians should help, why they should get involved, why you as a congregation member need to help your community. Let me just pause right there. Whose job is it to help the community? It is ours. It's Christians, it's people, it's our job and our duty to get involved. Specifically, the church's job to get involved. So then wouldn't it be okay if they teamed up with FEMA? You see, God calls the churches to do this outside of any organization. He didn't say team up with the government. No, Jesus said, render unto Caesar what is Caesar, and unto God what is God. God never said, let's sign up with one, because what happens in the event that you have some kind of, well, dictator like Stalin or Mao, or even another Hitler? You could be looking at a whole new set of situations. If you scroll a little further in this report, and I'm really just skimming through it, on page 12, it tells pastors how to handle their people. It tells them how to handle their people who are stressed out and worried. It also says, here's some things you need to remember about human and human dignity. Basically telling your pastor what to expect in the event of a crisis. It also goes on to explain to a pastor what they should do, questions they should ask, how they should interact with people, and when they need to, quote unquote, refer a person to another organization. Maybe sending your congregant member to a psychiatrist in order to help them with their stress level, or maybe sending that congregant to the FEMA or Department of Homeland Security themselves because that member refused to turn in their guns under a martial law scenario. You see where I'm going with this? Why it isn't necessarily a good thing for them to team up with FEMA? Let's go on a little further. Pages 13 and 14 teaches pastors how to listen to their congregation, to listen to every single detail that they're telling them, so that they can jot it down and report anything that they need to report. Now, in this section,
so translation, your pastor gonna be snitching. Wow.
Of the report, it includes a letter that was actually issued to them asking for church members and pastors to attend a meeting on how to prepare for a flu pandemic.
Wait. Did y'all hear that? Because y'all thought it was just about no. They also, back then in 2006, told the pastors how to prepare for a flu pandemic. Sounds pretty planned to me, huh? This document's from 2006. Interesting.
Anything that they need to report. Now, in this section of the report, it includes a letter that was actually issued to them asking for church members and pastors to attend a meeting on how to prepare for a flu pandemic. This was an emergency management agency issued report to churches. On the secondary list that you see here, here's Citizens Court, documents that pastors can use in order to ask for participants who are also going to get involved with FEMA. Then a little further in the report, it goes through an actual presentation. Now I'm just going to flip through the slides here, so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. But these slides basically train your pastors, your volunteers, your congregation members how to aid in the event of some kind of crisis, and how to jot down information they need in order to watch the population. The bottom line, FEMA and the Department of Homeland Security are teaming up with your churches, and they're doing it in the name of safety, in the name of catastrophic events, in the name of quelling the population in the event of some kind of catastrophe. Well, that's the claim that they're doing it. The real motive here is so that they can gain information on the church congregates, so that they can get the congregates of these churches to follow and obey all commands, even if that command goes against God's.
There it is. Even if that command goes against God, you got to do it. And they're going to use Romans 13. But now you brothers and sisters are equipped and know that that will be some BS, because that's not what it's talking about.
Command breaks the law and wants to take your Second Amendment right, even if that command goes against your First Amendment rights of freedom of speech and freedom of religion. And they're training the pastors how to comply. But you know what? That's not the only document I found. Check this one out. This is a FEMA tip sheet that engages faith-based communities. Now, this sheet goes on to detail how someone from FEMA should respond to a church, how FEMA personnel should act if they were to enter a church. Some examples here are given. Take your hat off if you go in the building. Shake the hands of those who enter. These are the details that they get very specific about, and they're actually right on a lot of these fronts on how to act in a church. But then it goes on in one portion of the report, and I'm going to hone in on this one. Under NVOAD membership, it states, these may serve, talking about church buildings, as significant assets during disaster response. That tip sheet basically trains FEMA how to get in the hands of congregation, how to get in the pocket of the church leader, and have them work with FEMA in order to, well, use their facilities in the event of a disaster. One last thing that I want to show you is a news report and a clip that actually proves under martial law.
So what she's going to do is she's going to show the same video that I showed before. I think that that's enough. I think you brothers and sisters pretty much, you get the idea of what it is I was trying to show you guys. It's, like I said, you see the title of the video, right? Buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy ride in 2021, so-called, you know, but we have faith in the Most High, and we know the Most High is going to deliver us. Let's just keep each other in prayers. All right. Don't have any fear. Don't be fearful. You know what I'm saying? You know what it is, so you know what you guys will be seeing. Just plan and prepare accordingly, as you should. And brothers and sisters, stop putting all your business on social media, what you're doing. However you're planning, however you're preparing. Honestly, in my opinion, even some of you brothers and sisters that live in states where it's legal to have firearms, some of you guys are showing your whole arsenal online. Why? 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 What do you get out of that? We just read the scripture. You cannot resist the power, meaning fight against the power that the Most High set up. That's what the Most High told us not to do. That's what Judas of Galilee tried to do, and others. We're not supposed to do that. So your little 2 or 3 AR-15s and your Glocks and all that other stuff that you have in your house, man, that's not gonna save you. It's good to have, but everybody in the world don't need to know about that. All right? Some of y'all Israelites be doing too much, man. Anyway, did I miss anything? Anything you guys want me to deal with before I go? Thank you to everybody for supporting. Oh yeah, by the way, very important, man. I want to say a strong shout out. I didn't write down the names of everybody, but I want to say a strong shout out, man, to everybody. I'm gonna put the banner across the screen now. Everybody that's been hitting up the website or the Cash App and showing love to Lions of Israel. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much to everybody that's been supporting us. We appreciate it. It's going to go to good use, trust me. And if anybody else, the Spirit moves you and what we do is helpful to you and you want to be a help to us, you know, the website is at the bottom down there. You guys can do what you guys need to do. All right. Yeah, like I said, buckle up your seatbelts, strap in. It's going to be a bumpy ride. For my early birds or my late birds, depending on where you are, I'm going to be, I didn't go into work today. I took a day off. So I'm going to be going into work tomorrow morning. So I'll be doing the Road Rage show bright and early at 4 a.m. in the morning on Maccabeestv. So all you early birds, make sure y'all tune in. I'll be there. Family, get my likes up, show some love. With that being said, family, this is your brother Priest Dan, representing Lions of Israel, Maccabeestv. I appreciate you taking time to listen. I ain't gonna hold y'all any longer. I think a little over an hour is good enough for today. So with that, I say
spacious air, reflecting the way of life under the Florida sky. Even the lobbies funnel in the great outdoors.
Chosen.
I was set apart for God's use. Chosen. I was set apart for God's use. Formed in His image.
Chosen.
They say the chain of Shaitan is not that strong. They say his time is running out, he ain't got that long. They say murder, murder, kill, this is not that song. Said I won't amount to nothing, they got that wrong. Cause I was set apart and I was shown the light. And if I get the kingdom, I'll be clothed in white. 1/3 will be delivered and the rest were blinded. Their fate is set in stone, what you ain't read the fine print? Christ is gonna give a crown to us. In the end we'll have the nations bowing down to us, with their faces to the ground to us. It's the truth, as crazy as it sounds to us. Jacob forever rules, and we're his precious jewels. Showed us love and patience, put us above the nations. And that's the gospel, thank God for choosing me. Bad news for you, it's really good news for me.
I was set apart for God's use. Chosen. I was set apart for God's use. Born in His image.
Let me tell you why. We have a different kind of shine, a different kind of mind. The rhythm's not the same, we're on a different type of time. With a different kind of pace, a different kind of race. The season's not the same, we have a different kind of taste. A different kind of salt, we are so not them. Got my sword and my shield, man, I'm so locked in. And when I came to serve Yahweh, I put my whole heart in. So I can't sit calm, I'm no Martin. And that's a reach, y'all, chosen to teach y'all. Every Sabbath you can find us in the streets, y'all. Danyaahla, my nickname is Priest, y'all. In the gym, they say that I'm a beast, y'all. Set apart, the nations all hate me. Set a trap, they lying in wait for me. Chris Paul, they don't wanna play with me. But if you love me, I'm asking that you pray with me. Cause
I was set apart for God's use. Chosen. I was set apart for God's use. Born in His image.
Chosen. And thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God have chosen thee to be a special people, chosen above all people that's on the face of the earth. That's Deuteronomy 7:6. That's you, black and Latin man. Chosen. That's you, black and Latin woman. Yeah. But we the chosen. Chosen.